She carefully examines Chen Mu's personal file. Just then, the police chief walks in, and the officer immediately salutes him. The chief takes out a picture of the Heaven Society's symbol. The moment the officer sees it, she is completely shocked. She wonders what connection the Heaven Society has with this case. The chief confirms that he suspects all of these events are directly linked to the Heaven Society. The officer asks her chief if it has anything to do with Chen Mu. She asks whether the Heaven Society is secretly backing Chen Mu. The chief denies it. He explains that he suspects Chen Mu himself is the boss of the Heaven Society. Meanwhile, the scene shows that Jiaolu has completed his investigation into Feng Long's background. Jiaolu sends Chen Mu a text, telling him that he has covered every single detail. He asks him to meet in the evening. Chen Mu replies and agrees, which brings a faint smile to Jiaolu's face. Later, the two of them meet at a restaurant. Xiaolu greets his boss, Chen Mu, and asks him to have a seat. Looking at him, Chen Mu asks, "So, is it finally time to shave that beard?" Xiaolu laughs and says, "Boss, this beard gives me an artistic touch. Girls these days really like this look." Then Xiaolu places a file in front of Chen Mu. It contains all the details about Feng Long's background. As Chen Mu reads through the file, he realizes that Feng Long is far from an ordinary man. He's actually extremely cunning. Several companies are registered under his name, but in reality, they're only being used as fronts for money laundering. Xiaolu explains that Feng Long's total wealth is around 300 million. That amount isn't extraordinarily high, but he is surrounded by an entire gang of dangerous and reckless criminals. In a cold voice, Chen Mu says, "In this world, reckless people are the least frightening." Surprised, Xiaolu asks, "Why is that?" Chen Mu replies calmly, "Because we're the ones who represent the ruler of hell." Xiaolu laughs and agrees with him. The two raise their glasses for a toast and begin drinking. Just then, an annoying brat deliberately bumps into their table, knocking over a beer bottle. Xiaolu says, "Watch where you're going." But instead, the kid gives him a provocative look and claims that Xiaolu bumped into him. The brat spits on the floor, stomps his feet, and stands right in front of their table. His mother immediately steps in and starts yelling. She accuses Xiaolu of scaring her son and demands compensation. Rudely, she says, "So what if a child bumped into you? Did you die? You're seriously picking a fight with a little kid." The brat keeps acting up and deliberately pours his drink all over Xiaolu. The liquid soaks his clothes. Xiaolu begins losing his patience and tells the parents to control their son. Then the boy's father arrogantly steps forward and asks, "Why are you yelling? Did my son step on your tail or something?" Chen Mu calmly steps in and explains that the kid's seat is on the exact opposite side. He deliberately walked all the way over just to bump into Xiaolu's chair. Chen Mu tells them they should discipline their son. But the father proudly replies that no one can teach him how to raise his child. He tells Chen Mu to mind his own business and warns him that scolding his son will cost him dearly. Then he tells his son, "Do whatever you want. Don't care about what anyone says. Your father is with you. Nobody can bully you." He shamelessly even says that if his son wanted to, he could pee on their heads. Chen Mu tells Xiaolu to ignore them and continue eating because they didn't come here to start trouble. Just then, Xiaolu's phone rings, and he steps outside to answer the call. At the same time, Chen Mu heads toward the restroom. Taking advantage of their absence, the brat climbs onto their table and starts peeing on it. The rest of the restaurant customers watch in complete shock, but the brat keeps peeing without stopping. His mother returns and starts feeding him grilled meat. She says, "Eat more. Grow strong like your father so no one can ever bully you." The brat happily keeps eating. Then he starts eating the grilled meat from Chen Mu's table as if it all belongs to him. Xiaolu returns and angrily asks the parents, "Do you people have a death wish?" The father stands up arrogantly and asks, "Who do you think you're talking to?" He shamelessly admits that his son peed on their table but insists it's no big deal. He says, "A little kid's pee is clean. Cleaner than the mouths of both of you." The mother also starts yelling, "So what if our son peed on your table? What's the big deal? You should actually be grateful." The customers are left speechless after hearing their shameless logic. The mother gives an even more ridiculous justification. She says that her son will become a celebrity in the future, and people will be desperate just to receive that honor. Chen Mu listens to all of this nonsense with a cold, piercing gaze. Xiaolu tells Chen Mu, "That fat rhino of a kid needs to be taught a lesson." The brat keeps provoking them, sticking out his tongue and making stupid faces. But Chen Mu doesn't lose his temper. He simply gathers his papers and files and gets ready to leave. Just then, the brat throws juice at Chen Mu and seizes the opportunity to steal his confidential files. Xiaolu is stunned. He knows that losing the files themselves isn't a problem because they can always be printed again. The real danger is that if the information inside those files gets leaked, it could seriously harm Chen Mu. Xiaolu orders the parents to return the file immediately, warning them that the consequences will be serious if they don't. But the brat deliberately throws the file onto the fire grill so it will burn. The mother smirks and says, "It's just a few pieces of paper." Then she encourages her son, saying, "You got what you wanted, didn't you? Those papers belong to you now. You can do whatever you want with them." She arrogantly adds that she's standing behind her son, and no one would dare lay a finger on him. The father encourages him even more. He says that if anyone ever bullies him, he should just tell him, and he'll skin them alive. He also teaches his son to behave the same way at school. If anyone touches his belongings, beat them until they can't get back up. Chen Mu and Xiaolu walk out of the restaurant. Then they cut the power, disable the security cameras, and sabotage the entire electrical system. Inside, the brat's mother starts complaining about the sudden power outage. She yells that her son's meal isn't even finished and demands that the restaurant owner be called immediately. She threatens that if her son's meal gets ruined, she'll smash the entire restaurant. At that very moment, in the pitch darkness, Chen Mu suddenly appears right in front of her and lands a powerful blow to her chest. The mother immediately realizes that the attackers are the same two men who had been sitting at the table earlier. She screams and orders her husband to beat them up. But in the darkness, Xiaolu grabs a heavy glass ashtray and uses it like a weapon, smashing it hard against the father's head. The darkness is so thick that no one can see anything. Meanwhile, Chenu pulls out a knife and drives it straight into the woman's stomach. Within moments, the entire place is filled with screams. Now, only their son is left alive. Seeing his parents in that condition completely shatters him. He cries uncontrollably, calling out for his parents and sobbing without stopping. Chamu walks over to him and says in a cold voice, "In your next life, don't grow up to be this spoiled." That was satisfying. After saying that, he grabs the boy by the head and drags him close to the blazing fire. On the other side, Xiaolu stands there calmly, drinking a bottle of beer as if everything happening around him means absolutely nothing. Some time later, Feng Long and his wife visit a patient at the hospital who is completely wrapped in bandages. The patient is none other than that brat's mother, Chan Chan. Feng Long's wife asks in shock, "Who did this to you?" With tears in her eyes, Chan Chan blames her own misfortune. She says that those two insane attackers killed her child. Crying, she tells them that her husband is still in the ICU, fighting for his life, and that her entire family has been destroyed. Then she gives them a piece of advice. Never let your children do whatever they want. I destroyed my own family. Feng Long asks for a description of the attackers. Chan Chan tells him that one of them was a tall, thin student, while the other had a thick beard and a very powerful build. The moment Feng Long hears that, all the color drains from his face. He instantly realizes that the killer is Chen Mu. Lying on the hospital bed, Chan Chan asks in confusion, "Who exactly is this Chen Mu?" Taking a deep breath, Feng Long asks, "Have you heard what happened to Wang Hengli, the chairman of the Hengqin group?" She nods. As the conversation continues, Feng Long becomes completely convinced that the real mastermind behind all those incidents was Chen Mu. Fearing revenge, he hands over the management of his company to other executives and goes into hiding with his wife and daughter in a secret villa. At the villa, his wife complains that they've been stuck in hiding for so many days. Feng Long's anger once again falls on his daughter, Fenggu. He yells, "This is all because of you. I can't even go to my own company anymore. You provoked the wrong person." But Fenggu doesn't feel guilty at all. She replies arrogantly, "So what if one girl died? It's not that big of a deal. Besides, I wasn't even the mastermind behind all this." Late that night, Chenmu secretly arrives at Fenglong's company headquarters. He is carrying a can of gasoline. A guard dog blocks his path at the gate. Chenmu picks up a stone from the ground and hurls it at the dog with all his strength. The stone hits the dog, and it immediately collapses to the ground. After that, Chenmu spreads gasoline throughout the entire headquarters, sets the building on fire, and calmly walks away. Meanwhile, in the surveillance room, Feng Long's brother, Feng Chen, is monitoring the security cameras. He has no idea that the gasoline has already spread throughout the entire building. Suddenly, flames erupt from every direction. Within a short time, Feng Long's shipping warehouse is completely reduced to ashes. Early the next morning, Feng Long is awakened by the ringing of his phone. His assistant, sounding panicked, tells him that a terrible tragedy has happened. Feng Chen has died in the warehouse fire. Hearing this, Feng Long freezes in shock. His assistant continues, saying that the fire also destroyed all of the company's trade secrets and important documents.